Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to jump into the Player's Handbook and look at a very useful high-level cleric spell, Restoration. I touched on this a little bit last week when talking about the Elven Vampire. So I thought, what the heck, we'll take a look at Restoration itself. So it's a 7th level spell, which means your cleric has to be 14th level to cast it. It is reversible. Range is touch. Effects duration is permanent. Area of effect is creature touched. Verbal and somatic gestures only. Interesting, you don't need your holy symbol for this. 3 rounds casting time and no saving throw. When this spell is cast, the life energy level of the recipient creature is raised upwards by 1. This subsumes previous life energy level drain of the creature by some force or monster. Thus, if a 10th level character had been struck by a wight and drained to 9th level, the restoration spell would bring the character up to exactly the number of experience points necessary to restore him or her to 10th level once again, and restoring additional hit dice or hit points and level functions accordingly. Restoration is only effective if the spell is cast within 1 day per level of experience of the cleric casting it of the recipient's loss of life energy. I didn't really understand that sentence. I still don't. I'll explain how we do it. The reverse energy drain draws away a life energy level, such as the undead power of the specter, wight, or vampire. The energy drain requires the victim to be touched. The restoration spell will restore the intelligence of a creature affected by a feeble mind spell. So a couple things to unpack there. First off, you can get your energy drain level back, but only if you've already lost an energy drain level, which did confuse us in the early days, because having the way it's written initially, the first sentence, it sounds like you can just pay a cleric to cast this restoration spell on you, and bam, you go up a level. Except, of course, restoration implies you're restoring something that you had previously lost. So you do have to have lost a level, and it has to be brought back within 1 day per level of experience of the cleric casting it of the recipient's loss of life energy. I don't really understand that sentence. I still don't. I've read that over about 8 times right now. I still don't understand what they're saying there, but the way we play it is it's got to be 1 day per level of experience of the cleric casting it. So if you go to a 14th level cleric, you have 14 days to get to him in order for him to cast the spell to give you back your energy drained level. So that's how we do it. Interesting too, if I do the reverse, energy drain draws away a life energy level of the energy drain requires the victim to be touched. It does not say he gets a saving throw, and there is no saving throw indicated under the saving throw section, so I don't allow a saving throw versus it. Now, if I made that ruling at the table and my players squawked enough and went to the 9th level energy drain spell, magic user energy drain spell, I would absolutely let them talk me into it. But the spell itself does not say you get a saving throw if you are energy drained by it. So it's kind of an interesting point. And the fact that a restoration spell will restore the intelligence of a creature affected by a feeble mind spell, that's pretty neat. So a restoration will restore that. Also, if you saw my video last week on the Elven Vampire, you know that we allow, at my table at least, we allow restoration to restore drained characteristics. The Elven Vampire drains charisma 2 points per touch. So you would need 2 restoration spells to negate that effect. But I do allow it, even though this doesn't say it. Of course, the Elven Vampires have been come up with after this was written. The Player's Handbook was written in 1978. And then we also always have to refer to the Dungeon Master's Guide and see exactly what's going on with their interpretation of the spell, because the Dungeon Master's Guide was written a year later. So sometimes we get some neat insights about the spell. And here we have it right here. Restoration. This spell will cure any and all forms of insanity. So that's pretty neat. That's more than just brought on by a feeble mind. It's all forms of insanity. So that's pretty good. That's a very handy thing to have available. And now we got to look at one other thing, which is how much does this guy cost for your cleric to cast it? So the cleric is casting this spell for you, and restoration is going to cost you 10,000 plus a like amount per level of experience of the recipient. So I don't know if that means 10,000 plus 1 if it's per casting. He's restoring 1 level. So would that be 11,000, or would it be the caster, the level of experience of the recipient? So if my recipient is 9th and going to 10th, I don't know. I'm confused by that. So if anybody's got any insight into that, but the way we've always played it was 10,000 plus we charged another 1,000 per level being brought back, which is only one. So basically it would be 11,000. And each restoration would cost that to be cast. It's kind of weirdly worded in both cases. I'm not sure why, but that's how we've done it at my table, is we allow the restoration to be cast, but it's going to cost you 11,000 per pop. 10,000 is the base, plus 1,000 for the 1 level you're getting back. It's just what we ruled at my table. Again, if anybody really understands what that means, I'd be really interested in finding out. But there you have it. That is the Restoration Cleric spell. Useful as your players are going throughout dungeons and exploring things. Very nice to know where a 14th level cleric is, so you can get your hands on this spell. And it is a good one to have available. It's a great way to suck away gold pieces from your players if they've been overpaid by yourself or maybe on the DM. It's a good way to suck out some gold pieces from them. And the interesting thing is, too, when it restores the level, it only restores you 1 point into the level. So if I was 10th level halfway to 11th, and I had a restoration cast because I've been drained, I lose everything beyond 1 point into 10th level. So I've got to reacquire all those experience points. So it's not a perfect solution, but it's definitely a good one, and it's pretty much the only game in town for any kind of restoration drained by undead, or any kind of stuff drained by undead. But that's all I've got today from page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends, please. Also, take a look at the Patreon. See if you can help me out there. I'm still trying to grow the channel. And patrons, existing patrons, I really thank you. I could always use a few more to help expand the channel. But everybody's doing what they feel they can, and that's great by me. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time on page 121.